teach you about those things about the CSV. Okay. So first we'll understand what is the CSV actually, um, and how it is going to be impacted into the pharmaceutical industry or maybe other industry. So first understand about the computer systems. So this is computer system is nothing but the hardware and the softwares. So who has did this green color? Just there is a way to erase it. Okay, no. So anyway, not a problem. I'm still in the meeting. I'm still in the meeting. Hello.
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
Okay, okay. Just a minute. Actually, it is showing like I'm out. Mm, mm. Okay. Yeah. So first we'll understand about the computer systems. So computer system, the computer hardware component assembled to perform a conjunctions with a set of software program, which are collectively designed to perform a specific function or group of functions. So this is computer system is nothing but the your daily day-to-day what you are working on the PC, okay, or maybe your laptop only. So this is called the computer systems, or maybe a client actually. So it is associated with the hardware and the softwares, hardware like a CPU, your mouse, your keyboard, and all those things. And the software, which is running the applications like Zoom applications currently running. So this is how the computer system is generally have a structure of a computer systems. Okay. Uh, then about the next things is regarding the validations. So because we have a computerized system validation, so second terminology is regarding the validations, isn't it? So validation is nothing but the established documented evidence that provide a high degree of assurance that a specific process will consistently produce a product meeting its predetermined specification and quality attributes. In the layman terminology, forget about all those definitions. We should understand the concept behind the validations. So validation is nothing but the providing assurance means by following a particular process, this process will uh, produce a result which is what we can say the always consistently results and what we have expected. So when you follow the same process with the same quantity of materials or whatever it may be, this process will produce the same result again and again. Every time you follow, it will produce the same results. Like you are cooking the food, and during the cooking of food, um, means some recipe you have written down into your some documents. How much spices should be added, how much vegetables should be added, and all those things. And at what time should be added, how much quantity should be added for how many persons it should be. So that is how we have validate our cooking processes as well. So whenever you follow the same process with the same quantity, same timing, and all those things, it will produce the same results again and again. Although there is some variations always be expected definitely because of the manual process or some other kind of the reasons, maybe environmental reasons. So that is fine, but it will be produce the same results again and again means deliciousness of the food will remain the same. Like if you have gone or visited the Domino pizzas, so across the India they have a same taste. Okay, but slightly variations will be there definitely because of the environment or because of the people, but always means Domino Pizza has validated their recipe, and they will provide a franchises to you. Once you will take the franchisee from them, they will provide the recipe details and all those things, and train you people as well. And once you get trained, then you can produce the same pizza again and again. So that is how the franchises also work based on the validation efforts only. Okay, so that is the things only. So this is called the validations. If we'll apply the same principle on validations, where we are going to be perform the validations, say to tablet validations. If you are producing a tablet, then if you follow the same process to prepare a tablet, like how at what time should I add the ingredients of a tablet, at what time I should add the starch, at how many speed I should rotate the powder and all those things. If you follow the same process, it will produce the same tablet again and again with the same specifications. So this is called the validations. Next thing is regarding the computerized systems. The previous one is the computer systems. Now the thing is computerized systems. So what is the difference between this? So computerized system collectively control the performance and the execution of one or more automated process and functions. It includes the computer hardware, software, peripheral devices, network, and documentation. For example, manual SOPs, as well as personal interacting with the hardware and the software. So this is the total definition in layman terminology is nothing but when you have a computer hardware along with the softwares, with the peripheral devices, with network, documentations like SOPs and all, and person who is sitting in front of the computer systems is also comes under the computerized systems. Okay. So collectively, we can say when we use the computer systems to use the one or more automated process and other functions, then we can say it is a computerized systems. Means it will handle the one process or maybe one or more processes or maybe a functions with the help of a computer systems, including the hardware, software, peripheral devices, network, and documentations. So this is called computerized system, overall computerized systems. Okay. So this is how computerized systems will work. Now our terminology is like a computerized system validations. Collectively is computerized system validations. Now how it is going to proceed with the computerized system validations. So this is nothing but the establishing documented evidence which provide a high degree of assurance that a computer systems will consistently produce the results that meet its predetermined specification and quality attributes. Means nothing. Whenever you use the same computer systems and follow the same process, it will produce the same results again and again. So this is how the computerized system validation terms has been coined, where you are going to be used your computerized systems for to follow a particular process, and it will produce the same results again and again. Okay. So this is how computerized system validations. If you have any questions on this, you can ask me regarding the this terminology now. Hope you understand. It's very simply, I have simplified for you to understand these definitions actually. Anybody having any questions on that? Okay. So now everyone will thought why validation is required. Definitely why we should do or perform the validations, why it is required, especially for a software or for a computer systems. It will always produce the same results. We are thinking like that. But I want to be why first thing is that whenever I produce or develop a software, I want to be my software should be defect free, isn't it? Your software, if one single defect of your software, and because of one single defect of your software, tablet may be produced wrongly, and this tablet will be consumed by a patient, and patient may die. So ultimate aim is to produce a software or computer systems which prevent a software problem or prevent a bug actually, to remove a defect actually. So first aim is to remove the defect or identify the bugs. Second is to avoid the serious consequences that might arise due to the incorrect software functioning. If your software is not functioning correctly, then it may produce the wrong tablet or maybe wrong syrup or whatever it may be, if you are going to be use the software for a production purpose into manufacturing area. So it may have a serious consequences because of a single defect. Then definitely it's a regulatory requirement from the US FDA, from the MHRA and TGA actually. So this is MHRA from the European Union, TGA and CDSCO. CDSCO is the Indian regulatory authority for which is taken care by the tablets or pharmaceutical industry actually. And definitely it gives assurance, means validations will give us assurance That developed product or a software will function accurately and will produce the results as intended. So it will always produce the same results, and it definitely it will provide the assurance that if you are going to use the software, then this software will function accurately and they without a defect actually. So this is how the things why validation is required, and the things we are going to be covered like a computer system validations will include the software validations, will include the infrastructure qualifications like hardware, peripheral device, networks, servers, platforms, and cloud-based systems like software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. So this is called also called the cloud computing, where you are going to be use your software through the cloud actually. Okay, like Amazon AWS. If you heard about this terminology AWS, this is the service provided by the Amazon on a cloud level actually, and it also include the database like Oracle or SQL, and it will definitely include the spreadsheet validation as well. Then how the software is going to be developed. So these are the methodology by which the software generally developed, like a waterfall methodology, V model approach, agile methodology, DevOps, spiral methodology, and rapid application development model, incremental SDLC. So there is a lot of methodology by which the software generally developed, and how to validate your software while developing the software. So these are the waterfall methodology. Why it is called waterfall? Because it is coming from water is falling from the upper side to lower side. Means you have to gather the requirement to develop a software, and once you have gathered the requirement, then you have to analyze the requirement. Then based on the requirement, you have to design the software. Means prepare a design specification. Then based on the designing, you have to code your softwares. Once coding will be completed, you have to test the softwares, and after testing, you can deploy the softwares into the various environment. So this is like a V model approach where you are going to perform the IQ, OQ, and PQ in relations to the design specification, functional specification, and user requirement. So once you have prepared the validation plan, then you can gather the requirement and include into user requirement specifications, prepare the functional specifications, where your the software vendor will provide the what functionality they are going to provide into the software. Definitely, pharmaceutical industry is not going to not going to develop the software. Some IT industry has to develop. So he has to provide the FS and provide the details of a functionality of a software, what he is going to provide. And based on the functional specification, he has to design the software. And based on design specification, he has to develop the software. Once development will complete, he has to perform the IQ, OQ, where OQ will test the functionality and PQ will test the performance of a software. And then prepare a validation report, then go for operational phase and retirement phase. So this is how the things will be going forward for the waterfall RV model.
Methodology.
Yes, exactly, methodology. Then what are the topics we are going to be covered for advanced courses? Like you can see the high level risk assessment, include the GXP assessment and the electronic record, electronic signature assessment, criticality assessment, and the SOX assessment, and confidentiality assessment. Categorization of the software, how many category of the software generally have as per the Game 5 guideline, and definitely supplier assessment, because a lot of the supplier is available into the market. Which supplier should I select for development of my software? So you have to perform some kind of the assessment to select a particular supplier. So that is also defined into the guidelines, and based on the guideline, we'll provide the details into the supplier assessment during the advanced classes. Of course, we will go through the V model, agile models, validation of softwares, infrastructure qualification, validation plan preparation, report preparations. We are going to be show you the template, how the validation plan should be prepared according to the template. This is the standard template, certainly for the URS, FS, DS, and CS. And definitely we'll describe in details about what is this technology, how it is going to be prepared actually, based on step to steps. And definitely this is the most impacted things like a quality risk assessment, because this is also a considerable topic into the pharmaceutical industry. If you are going to develop a software, what are the risks associated with developing the software, especially the functionality related risk actually. So we'll discuss in depth during the advanced classes, and perform the testings like IQ, OQ, PQ, UAT testings, regression testings, perform the testing of electronic record, electronic signature assessment based on the 21 CFR Part 11. Business continuity management in case of any kind of disasters and your server or your system is not available, then how the things should be going to proceed, means how you are going to continue your business. So this is also a topic into the advanced classes, backup and restore, system retirement, and other topics. So these are the topics we are going to be covered during the advanced classes. Technical aspects to be learned like ERE assessment, audit trial, user authorizations, cloud-based systems, infrastructure qualifications, IT securities related things, how you are going to be secure your servers and maybe systems, we can say. 21 CFR Part 11, EU Annex 11, quality management systems. So those topics we are going to be covered. You can have just these are the technical perspectives topic like recovery point objective, recovery time objective, SDLC models, open system, closed systems, and all. And now talk about the career growth with the validations. Do you have any questions still here in terms of topic clarity or anything? You can ask me.
Yeah, hello. This is Sriram. So I want to know what are the key difference between Annex 11, EU Annex 11, and Part 21 CFR Part 11.
Okay. So generally what happened, 21 CFR Part 11 and the EU Annex 11, both are nearly same. Okay. Because what are the topics has been covered into 21 CFR, it is also covered into EU Annex 11. But the things where it is different, 21 CFR is a more talk about the technical perspectives, while the EU Annex 11 is more talk on the procedural related things. Means he is more concentrate on procedures, EU Annex 11, while the 21 CFR is talk about the system designing or technical controls. So this is how the main difference of these two guidelines actually. More or less, both are the same. Means topics has been covered by both the guideline is more or less same.
So in previous slides, two of the procedures has been mentioned. One is V model and the other one is water model. So
Yes,
is there any we need to utilize any of the model, or else it's difference with the case? Depends with the case.
No, didn't understand. Can you repeat the question?
Yes, in previous slides you had shown V model and water model, right? So when we are doing some validation, so which is there any specific requirement whether we need to use V model or water model, or else any model we can approach?
What happened? Generally, we follow the V model approach. Waterfall model generally previously they used to use the waterfall model. V model, why we should use the V model? Because you can see the arrow has been going from the IQ to design specification, OQ to functional specification, and the what we can user requirement specifications, isn't it? So it will show that your IQ has to verify against the design specifications. Means whatever the you have mentioned to design specification is it has to be verified into the IQ. Similarly, whatever the you think mention into the FS, you have to verify into the IQ actually. Same for the URS as well. So this is how the V model is a good model in comparison to waterfall models.
So for any software, either it's software or mission-based validation, can we go with V model only?
Not necessary that we always go or follow the V model. You may have an agile model, may have a DevOps model, or whatever it may be. Your concept should be clear regarding the CSV approach. How the CSV, both are the don't consider same like a software development model and the V means CSV. CSV is a concept actually. SDLC is a development of a software. So CSV is different from the SDLC. So So any model you can follow for development of softwares, you can validate your softwares based on the CSV concept. Okay.
Here I would like to add on to your doubt. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, like the previous waterfall model that it is mentioned, maybe that one, after you use some software, you want to add on something again, or you want to develop some small kinds of bugs or any small analysis you want to add on to your already used version of software. Then you can use the previous water model, where you can take that into a static mode. You can analyze what is that small bug that you have developed. You can do analysis, then you can see whether it's working or not. Again, then you can deploy that particular bug that has been validated in a static mode to your production mode. So over there, I think this waterfall model that was given will be more useful rather than the V model for that particular bug validation.
So, Kirtika, regarding this approach, isn't it you are going to fix your bug and you are not going to test those bugs?
No, it's not a bug I am telling. If you want any, like in case when I use a LIMS software, for example, now that is trending up, already you have a version. Maybe you have to update some calculation field in that. So before you do it into your production field, the final that is online that is being in the lab. So before you do into that, you have to check whether your application has been worked or not. So in that case, you have to validate even that particular calculation, whether it is being used for your current use. So at that time, we can use that waterfall model where you develop that one in the static mode. So you develop that, you do the analysis. So when you go back, whatever is requirement, you gather the information, then you do analysis, then you design that, then you give the code whether it is coming perfectly or not, you test it. Then after testing is fine, from the static mode, you can deploy that into your production mode. So this waterfall model, I guess it will be more useful when you develop again something into your already working software.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Thanks for addition of the topics.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this is the things how the methodology will be used for the software development. Okay. So regarding the career growth with the validations perspectives, so the multi-dimensional opportunities available. First, in the pharmaceutical industry, definitely pharmaceutical industry require the CSV person. Same for the IT software industry, where they are going to sell their softwares to a pharmaceutical industry. So IT industry also requires CSV persons, and the clinical trial industry, as well as the medical device industry. So these are the four industry where they are going to be used the CSV persons. So there is a lot of opportunity into various industry, and you already know there is a lot of industry, pharmaceutical industry in India. Similarly, for IT industry, we have a lot of IT industry as well. So lot of opportunity as well, definitely. Starting salary for a CSV person is from the 20,000 to 40,000 in India. It may be more. It's a very less figure actually we are showing to you. And relative career growth as compared to other courses, it's the 50% higher than the other courses. Exposure to corporate environment and 5 days working. Enjoy the 5 days working because it's always in the corporate environment only. And you can see the career growth from the lower to the higher, from 2.16 to 25 or 75 lakh per annum. It may be more based on your capabilities. So this is the overall. You can contact to us on the below mentions number. And if you have any questions, then you can ask me on any topics, anything.
So when we sorry, Sriram again. So during the course, is there any examples of 483 can be shown?
Regarding the 483, we are not going to discuss for a 483. You have to visit. You can visit the website from the USFDA, and you can read out the 483 and you can ask me during your sessions if any clarifications needed. Okay. Because a lot of 483 is there. We cannot talk on each of things. You can just go through and you can ask me the questions. Okay. Because we are here to teach you the CSV. We are not going in depth of a 483 actually. So this is overall things like a GXP assessment 21 CFR Part 11, change management process in pharmaceutical industry, deviation as well. So these are clinical topics. These are the GXP assessment, how the GXP will be, how the CSV with the GXP and how the CSV should be performed for non-GXP systems. So there is a difference between the category to category as well, and between the GXP to non-GXP systems as well. Okay.
Any training material will be provided, like your presentation or any other?
Yes, we'll provide some guidelines, which is helpful for you to understand the more clearly about the concept of a CSV.
The PPT that is being demonstrated can be given, shared, or it's?
Yeah, PPT we can share, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Chandravani from Sipla. Actually, I'm working for transfer, and I'm taking care of CSV. I'm part of it. So my question is that we will provide any case study. See, we have computer system validation on manufacturing, as well as we have computer system validation analytical part. So any specific topic you will cover, or you will cover entire?
So we are going to be cover entire things like manufacturing as well as the QC. So don't worry about it. We'll take example of LIMS, as well as we are going to be cover the compression machine software as well. So don't worry about it. Means from lower to higher, from manufacturing to QC.
How you will provide on practical model through the software on the classes?
So actually what happened, we will take one particular project and how to prepare the URS for a particular project. We'll take the URS example and then design specification, and then the we can say the functional specification, then the testing purpose as well. So we'll go in depth for each example as well. So don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, hi, I have a query. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like you were mentioning, like the case study which you're going to share, like would you be able to share like that, so that like in case like we can't follow everything online, right? So like for our reference we can keep it with us. Like, are you going to share all those case studies and the project like for those?
Means we will teach you how to do the CSV, but the material specific to the particular project will not provide the material specific for a project like
take for an example, when I'm validating inventory software or anything like anything like that, like you'll be going case study for, like we are validating trims or libs, like you'll be giving reference for each, right? So like.
No, understood. Your point of concern, I understood. So what we are going to provide you, it's more or less is a guideline, and we provide the clarity on concept to you.
Okay. Okay, and under QC, like which case studies we are going to show us, like for
so we are going to be use the LIMS project to have an idea on the analytical
LIMS project
and LIMS, Chromeleon and LIMS,
Okay, and for like all the QC instruments, like for HPLC, what you're going to show us, like example of like.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll cover every aspect of manufacturing as well as the QC actually.
Okay. Thank you for the.
Thanks.
So one last final question from my side. So is there any case studies regarding industrial 4.0? So MES is also one of the part of 4.0 and regarding serialization. So is there any case studies for these both?
No, what I said to you, we'll take an example of a one particular project. So CSV is not related to 4.0. 4.0 is more related to automation of we can say the of a particular process. But we are going to be use the software CSV validations, means we are going to validate how we are going to validate the automations. Okay.
Yes,
And
that's
4.0 is more related to automations related to IT. Okay. So
Yes.
there is a thin, we can say the thin difference actually between the 4.0 and CSV. And
Yes,
we are going to teach
for
with the
I
tools.
think for that automation, do we do the CSV process or not? Means we are going to validate that process or not?
Definitely, if you follow the automations, so automations will always follow the through the softwares, correct?
Yes.
Isn't it like without software, automation will not possible? So whenever
Yes, of
there is a
course.
software or we can say the infrastructure, and you have to perform the qualification of infrastructure and the validation of a software. So we'll provide the concept behind how you are going to be proceed for a validation of a software. Once you will get the concept, then there is no problem. Anything will coming like AMES, LIMS, or whatever it may be, you can validate based on the concept clarity.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Okay, then you can contact to our persons. They will reach out to you. You can reach out to them for any further clarifications. Okay, then. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.